Warning, this episode contains mild to heavy explicit spoilers. Listen at your own risk.
Reviews, discussions, and theories about films in horror, sci-fi, and genre. This is The Horror Deconstruction. Like, share, and subscribe to hear more.
Picture this. You're a successful businesswoman with a thriving career. You're able to give incredible advice to subordinates to navigate their lives, and they listen to you because you're so well put together. You exercise to maintain your health, another sign of discipline and care. You have a secret relationship with one of your coworkers, which adds a spice of variety into your life. Your daughter and you have a loving relationship that balances parentage and friendship. This seemingly quaint and perfect life comes to a halt when you see someone you've long abandoned walk back into your world and inflict a terrorizing assault to your very being. This is the premise of Resurrection, the 2022 film written and directed by Andrew Seaman, starring Rebecca Hall, Grace Kaufman, and Tim Roth. Hall stars as the no-nonsense Margaret, complacent yet always on the edge with her own existence, as if knowing everything can go away in a moment's notice. Her relationship with her daughter goes through every typical cycle, from friendly chats about sleepovers to sleepless nights in caring for her child after a biking accident. Margaret is also sleeping with a married coworker who is holding an unreciprocated real love for her. As a single mother, Margaret sees this fling as nothing more than a healthy sexual exercise than anything else. She's too business and family oriented to step into a messy, complex relationship. But is that the real reason? Is she divorced? Did she simply get out of a relationship with her child's father? Was she even in one to begin with? What clue do we get about Margaret's love life to explain this icy wall she puts to blockade herself from unwanted intimacy? This all comes to eradicate her safe world when she catches sight of someone from her past sitting almost indifferently in a seat ahead of her at a conference she's attending. Tim Roth plays David, an ever-evolving puzzle piece to her murky past. The more instances that David makes his presence known, the more disassembling Margaret's life becomes. A fascinating look at the sheer evil of gaslighting and obsession that David unfurls is incredibly uncomfortable and frightening. We can understand now Margaret's reticence to closeness. Hall's performance in this film is solid. It's always so exciting to see an actor of her caliber performing in what's essentially a psychological horror film. The same can be said for Tim Roth, who is so unsettling as the all-seeing, all-knowing David, where he is at times vaporous and physically pervasive. This dark past revealed puts into shambles the relationships and career Margaret has fastidiously kept. The degradation of her family life to her co-workers seeing flaws in her conduct is beginning to put her in an unending spiral. The strength of these two leads is in Margaret's almost robotic obsession with ending this obviously disturbing link to her past. Her calculating efforts to be rid of David come to backfire at every turn. Her desperation growing, and the solid alpha female persona she projects begins to devolve into an abused animal. David's almost disaffected persona alternates from carelessness to venom-blooded monster, his abuse knowing no bounds in psychologically breaking down his perceived enemy. The two mentally tussle, but obviously one has the upper hand, and it's Margaret's slow self-destruction that can only lead her to finding a way out of this all-consuming grasp on her existence. The clean, cold direction by Seamans makes this descent into madness all the more frightening. The scary aspects of missing children, detached fingers, cannibalism, disembodied screams, and the void of loss become overpowering aspects of an inescapable horror. Hall was great in this and the good but flawed The Night House. Her and Roth's performance simply elevate the material, which is already quite well done. The escalating trials of humiliation David puts Margaret through as penance are both realistic and degrading. It all leads to a hideously grotesque act of violence that shatters everyone involved. A worthwhile film to experience the utter dread of trying to close the door on the worst relationship of your life. 7.5 out of 10. Getting that baby back. This has been The Horror Deconstruction.